Red Bull cliff diving, 15 years, over 100 stops, and it's, you know, when we do this off the cliff rounds, it's kind of going back to the roots. This is where it comes from. People just standing on a cliff and jumping. In Hawaii, back in the day, you know, the king used to jump from the cliffs. Red Bull cliff diving is going back to those roots, implementing that, including that in our World Series now. It's a nice challenge for the athletes. You can see they're enjoying it.
We are here in Northern Ireland for the 4th stop of the Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series. It is absolutely stunning here along the Causeway coast. I'm your host, Gracie Kramer, and I'm going to be taking you along with me.
Yep.
I have to go down to the women's platform, and apparently you have to rappel down the side of a cliff to get there. Oh my God, I'm so scared. I am so uncomfortable. Okay, wait, I think I got to the good spot. Oh! Wait, it's all loose. Oh, fuck. I need to stop crying on these. Wow, I'm so uncomfortable. Yeah. That was messed up. That was so scary. I think I like fully just wrecked my hands too, because I slid down and I was like clawing the cliff, holding on for dear life. I did not expect that, especially because like you can't see behind you, so I like didn't even know if my foot was on, and I was just like, I fully accepted I was gonna fall. That was messed up. You're gonna be in a little Speedo, like in a bathing suit, and they have no room to even really take off their harness. So I don't know how they're gonna do that. Like, it's just, it's so uncomfortable. Oh, new fear unlocked.
Hello, welcome.
Hello, welcome everyone. I feel like we're together.
Right now the weather's pretty calm, but it can change in an instant. And I think that's definitely gonna present a huge, huge challenge for the divers, because you can truly never know how bad the rain's gonna fall or how bad the wind's gonna pick up until it does.
It looks like, if you imagine like kind of what a pit of death looks like, it's almost like that, but then there's a little bit of water down the bottom, and then there's some dudes on zip lines, you know? It's not ideal, but that's part of the sport. Like, come on. It's fun. My name is Aidan Heslop. I am a professional cliff diver from the UK.
For the Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series, we have 8 permanent divers and 4 wildcard divers. The divers compete a total of 4 dives. There are 5 judges judging the dive. Once they are given 5 scores, they drop the highest score, drop the lowest score, add the 3 between, and multiply it by the degree of difficulty. The scores throughout the competition are then added together to determine the winner of the competition. Out of the 4 dives that they're doing, they're going off of 2 cliff spots. Day 1, they're going off 1 cliff spot. Day 2, they're going off of a different cliff and then going off of the platform. And then day 3, they're going off the platform for the finals. Tonight is lucky draw, which will determine the competitor's position for tomorrow's competition. We are doing a plank challenge, and basically the last man standing gets to choose the position first. I have to do it. They just wanted to see how competitive I was, so let's see if I'm up for the challenge.
3, 2, 1, go!
Need some wrist guard.
I hate this.
Our people are out.
You're gone. Everyone into plank position, starting in 5, 4. Hips off the floor in 3, 2, 1. Down. Up.
The beer's coming out of me.
Down.
I'm ready to throw up already.
Everybody else has got it wrong. Is that what?
This spot is particularly sketchy because we have rain, wind, tides, waves, and the most gruesome temperatures you can even think of. These divers are going into the water and coming out and can barely breathe. That's how cold it is. It is so cool, though, to see these incredible locations that we're going to and see how these divers adapt.
Get that heart pumping. Maybe like 2 years ago was my first real introduction to cliff diving, and then it just, I wouldn't say love at first sight, because at the beginning I really wasn't sure about this, and I would say 6 months after I did my first high diving practice, I kind of fell in love with it, and then here we are. Cliff diving for me is an escape from everything. I just feel so at peace when I'm diving, and
it's a little more scary off the cliffs because you don't know what to expect. In some locations, for instance, this one, I didn't know what the rock was going to be like when I got there. If the dive that I had chosen was the right one because of the footing and because of where you have to land and the visuals and everything.
Yeah, we have to work with the elements, and in certain locations, of course, the tide is going to affect the whole environment. We have to be aware of all of that, not just the wind, not just the temperature, but also the tide, because if it's dropping too much, then it could become dangerous because there's not enough water for the athletes to slow down.
Simone put her arms up because was she accelerating too much?
Well, the thing is,
She felt, but she wasn't.
yeah,
Okay.
it was the right speed.
So she misread.
Yeah, and when you think, instead of based on what you see, you make decisions in the air split second that are they may not be the right decision, but just because you want to trust a feeling sometimes versus what you see, and you have to trust your visuals in cliff diving, which makes it hard.
I mean, is Aidan. I think he was destined to do this thing.
All right, that's a wrap. Simone, unfortunately, didn't have her best dive, but she's still learning, she's still adapting to this environment, and Aidan killed it. Obviously thinks he probably could do a little bit better because, he's a perfectionist, but we'll look forward to seeing what they do tomorrow.
talking about my dating life. Because
It's going strong.
not really.
If you want to date her, her phone number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
0.
Good morning from Northern Ireland. It is currently 5 in the morning, but we are here day 2, round 2, off the cliff in Ballycastle. It is absolutely stunning here. Gotta show you the sunrise. It's a must. Look at that. You can't beat it. I'm so calm. It's definitely a very different vibe than yesterday. I think I needed this. This is feeling like very therapeutic. The current standings of the competition are Johnny in first, Carlos in second, Aiden in third, and then for the women's, it's Rhiannon, Maria, and Molly. Sadly, Simone did not compete at her best yesterday.
Okay, the biggest challenge here, we got a bunch, honestly. This is a tough one. I mean, it's 6 a.m. Everyone's kind of spirits are a bit low at the minute. They've just woken up. We have a push. We have like 2 to 3 meters worth of distance to clear. It's a really kind of not a nice spot to get to, even for the men, and then the girls have to abseil 6 meters further down. It's gonna be a hard day, you know? So diving from this kind of rock is just, it's not the breakfast I was hoping for, but like, I'm trying to get into it a bit more.
Over? I mean, I'm not much of a morning person, so I'm a bit, but I love diving, so it's gonna cheer me up.
I would say cliff diving is like, it's out of my comfort zone for sure. Like I'm used to a like controlled environment when I have like a platform or a springboard, and like it's not just a rock. Not being on a platform is out of my comfort zone.
I mean, if you want to know what cliff diving is, I think it's sketchy, it's fun, it's scary, it's freeing in a way. Diving off these cliffs here is what I would call cliff diving. It was good, you know? It definitely could have been improved. It was quite fast. I had to throw the air brakes on a little bit, which was successful and got it in. I mean, same kind of scores as yesterday. Sergio, unfortunately, did beat me on our little competition that we had for the Guinness, so not too happy there. He did a nice dive. But, you know, we got the 2 big dives coming up tonight and tomorrow, so just going to go home and get some rest before we crush it later.
But yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work out the way you want, and it's fine, it's part of life also. Like, it's just, it can't always be happy and nice, and like, you can't always be perfect on this day, on that dive, and it's just, yeah, it's circumstantial also, but for sure it's frustration.
she's made a couple mistakes here and there, but she's always tried to keep like that good attitude. You ask her questions and she's always in a good mood. It's nice to see.
That's not good. I dropped.
It is day 2, round 3 of the Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series. Simone is currently standing in 11th place. She had a tough 2 rounds, so hopefully she can make up some points in this next round and hopefully in the final round as well. And Aiden is currently in 4th. He's very, very close to Costa, so it should be a very tight competition on the men's side. Today's round is a little bit different than the last 2. This time, they're going to be going off of the platforms. Sometimes people prefer it, and some of the athletes don't like it as much as the cliffs. It's going to be very interesting to see how these athletes adjust to this new environment and new standard for the dive. They're also going to be throwing harder dives as they progress through each round. So it will be very, very interesting to see how that changes the points and the rankings overall.
Aiden Heslop, I think he's been around us since he was a little kid. I remember him when he was a little kid, you know? And he's always been tied to cliff diving, to Red Bull cliff diving, to us at Red Bull cliff diving. I think that's great. You could see from the beginning that he wanted to do this. I mean, of course, he was very young, so he had to wait until he was actually allowed to do it. But when he came in with a bang. You know, he was not playing. He really wanted this. I think he was destined to do this thing, and I'm really happy to see his confidence. You know, how when he stands on the platform, nothing faces him. It's cold weather, it doesn't matter. It's hot, it doesn't matter. It's high, it's low, there's waves. He's prepared for it. You know, he's done it for so long, and he's prepared himself so well to do this. Now that nothing faces him, you know, it's good to see somebody compete like that.
It's okay. I would actually die.
Mine are getting better.
I'm trying to stick to what I do all the time, so I'm not gonna mess around my routine or try to change things because it's been working.
That was a good day. That was a good day. There's not much more I can say. That was pretty great. I'm really proud of that one.
Aiden is currently in the top spot with 300 points after day 2. That is such a phenomenal ranking. He also hit it with his hardest dive. We've got Costa in the 2nd spot, and then we have James in the 3rd spot. I am so impressed with all of those guys. They killed it. And then for the women, it's Rhea, Maria, and then Molly in the 3rd spot. Simone, sadly, is still stuck in the 11th spot because all of the girls did so well. There wasn't much movement, but hopefully she can climb the rankings tomorrow.
Welcome, everyone, to the Causeway coast of Northern Ireland, where the untamed beauty of nature meets the raw, ancient power of the earth.
Definitely very wild and rugged, very high winds today, extremely chilly. 17 degrees is the air temperature.
We are here on the 27-meter platform here in Ballycastle. It is so cold today. It's gonna be raining pretty much all day. The weather is a little bit sketchy, but the divers are ready for day 3, round 4. It is going to be the final day of competition. Hopefully the athletes are ready because the stakes are high, the pressure's on, and it's gonna be a great day, whether the weather is good or not.
Yeah, I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, because it's still getting straight and it's not going too far. Like, perfect.
Would you say this is the worst conditions you've done diving in?
For sure, for sure.
Like hands down?
Yeah, hands down. Like cold temperature, cold water, wind, rain, for sure it's the toughest conditions.
Simone Leadhead. So Leadhead putting one into the harbor. Molly Carlson likes it. Aiden, Molly and Aiden, boyfriend, girlfriend.
So when there is a splash, of course, it's more impressive when you slice through the water with no splash, but the judges are still looking at the takeoff, the flight, and the angle. You can see she was bent over.
Making her 8th ever appearance on the World Series. Currently ranked number 4 in the World Series point standings. That's very solid.
Sometimes my calmness and my fearlessness is a bit of a... I feel like it's bringing me down a bit when these conditions are super hard, and I'm just expecting it to be like home, but it's not. So I feel like that's a big takeaway.
Running takeoff, so she'll run towards the end, front 3 somersaults, 1.5 twists.
So Jeannie Van Katwijk continues to show consistency and her personal best on the World Series with only 5 starts.
Will it be possible for her to make the podium here today? Entering the twist, entering the pike.
So Jeannie Van Katwijk, 39 years old, now holds down the top position. Look at Molly Carlson. Degree of difficulty on this one, 4.4. 3:22.30. So Jeannie Van Katwijk of the Netherlands will find the podium. First ever podium on the World Series.
An athlete performs so well across all 4 dives, whipping it around, slicing and dicing away for an incredible entry. Congratulations, Brianna Nifland, for another win.
I know he feels inside like everybody's expecting him to win, which is an added pressure. He is 30 points ahead, but in high dive, 30 points is not that much when the competition finished at 450. He's doing the hardest dive on the circuit today, but he can do it, and he can do it as good as the dive yesterday, so that's what we're going to try to do.
So apparently Aiden's knee is bugging him a little bit after yesterday's dive, so he's going to take it easy and not even risk hurting it more, and not even going to do the warm-up dive at all. He's just going to go cold turkey off the 27-meter. So we'll have to see how he does with that. It's a really challenging thing to do.
Yeah, my running dive, my front quad 3.5 twist, it's a big dive. I mean, the way the DD's changed for this year, it's technically not the hardest dive in the world anymore, but the way that these boys are pushing the dives, they're getting harder and harder, and it's easier to mess up, you know, to get some injuries, so.
Marking up the run-up in a terrifyingly difficult dive. Flipping and twisting and crushing the entry. High five to the safety divers. He knows it, the divers know it.
Unbelievable. High degree of difficulty on that, evaporating into the water here in Ballycastle.
Running to the end, arms above the head, maximum power. Triple twist, you can see the legs or the feet overlapping to make sure the legs don't pull apart. A little bit of a bent leg, or bent legs I should say, in that position. It's pretty hard to keep them straight when you're rotating that fast with that centrifugal force.
Oh, centrifugal force.
Oh, we brought that term back again.
There it is.
Aiden Heslop, tongue out.
What a star! So proud. Family got to see it live, so it warms my heart to see him do so well.
When the third diver was up, when James was up, Aiden was on the 20-meter and he was dancing in the background. And when he's as relaxed as that, I know it's going to go well. And there you go.
And that is a wrap on Northern Ireland. What an incredible journey. We went from rocks and treacherous heights to platforms here in Ballycastle Harbour. It was such an incredible journey, and I'm so glad I could take you guys with me. I'll see you next time in Oslo, Norway.
As she sits there beside the mossy stream, she smiles at me with rosy lips, with love flowing out upon my heart, with love flowing